Good afternoon. The candidates for President of the United States have come to Utah. We have a huge weekend here in the Beehive State leading up to next Tuesday's caucuses. John Kasich, Bernie Sanders, and Donald Trump stopping in Utah today, with Ted Cruz making a stop here tomorrow. Let's kick it off with John Kasich. His first event of the day is about to get underway in Orem at Utah Valley University, and that's where we find news specialist Lad Egan to lead us off this afternoon. Lad, good afternoon. Has that event started yet?
It has not started yet. Good afternoon. We're here live at Utah Valley University. Got a big crowd behind me here, and an impressive crowd for it being spring break. We're hearing that Ohio Governor John Kasich running just a little bit behind, but should be starting in about a half hour. Today's event here at Utah Valley University is just the first of 4 Utah campaign events for Kasich. He'll be here in Utah Valley first, then switching to the University of Utah, then to Davis High School, and tomorrow in southern Utah to visit folks down in St. George. Today's events come after Kasich picked up a key Utah endorsement yesterday, former Governor Mike Leavitt throwing his support behind John Kasich. So we are here live, and I'm actually joined now with State Representative Craig Powell, who is also the chair of Kasich's Utah campaign. What are we expecting to hear today from the governor?
Governor Kasich really just needs to let Utahns get to know him. It's been such a crowded field up to this point that a lot of people may not know him, and I consider him the most electable candidate for president, and that's what he's going to tell people here.
How much does yesterday's endorsement by Mike Leavitt mean?
Oh, it's huge. We're happy to have Governor Leavitt here today. He's actually going to introduce Governor Kasich in just a few minutes. Bob Bennett, Senator Bennett, also endorsing Governor Kasich, and I think that we've got a lot of momentum now here in Utah for this big weekend coming up.
Many people wondering if we're going to see Mitt Romney at any of the events today or tomorrow.
You know, we haven't heard from Mitt. We know that he worked with Governor Kasich last week in Ohio, and, you know, that's just one of the things we'll have to continue to watch. But so many people are supporting. You can see by the crowds here today. You know, you think about the 3 candidates left in the race, there are really some options that Utah have to consider, and Governor Kasich really, I think, is just by far the most reasonable, the most pragmatic, and just the most experienced person that we have.
And Utah having our Republican and Democratic caucus meetings next Tuesday night, 40 GOP delegates up for grab. What do you think Kasich might do here in Utah?
You know, I think that it's going to be, over the next few days, something that people are really going to have to settle down and decide. Those delegates, you have to get 15% in Utah to even get any delegates, and maybe one of those 3 candidates may not. I'm talking about Donald Trump, who doesn't seem to have a really huge following in Utah, which is why I think people really need to know who John Kasich is so that they can give him their vote.
And Utah is proportional with our GOP delegates. Until someone gets to that 50% mark, do you think anyone might walk away with a majority take-all situation?
Well, we have to look towards that Republican convention. That convention is actually going to be in Cleveland, Governor Kasich's home state, and I really think that as people understand the experience that he's already had in Congress, and then what he's had in his state as a popular elected 2-term governor of probably the most important swing state. When it comes election night in November, we always watch Ohio. We know he's beating Hillary Clinton in Ohio by 8 points right now. The only candidate who's beating Hillary Clinton in Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire. It's just, for me, an easy decision.
Very good. Thank you so much, Representative Powell, for joining us today.
Thank you.
We'll stay tuned. He's running a little bit behind, so maybe around 12:30 or so.
Yeah, we're looking about 12:30. He'll begin his remarks.
All right. Thank you so much. And yesterday, what's interesting, when I was talking with former Governor Mike Leavitt, he predicted that we would have a contested convention on the Republican side, and that's why he's throwing his support behind John Kasich. So we'll stay here live, bring you the town hall meeting when it kicks off in about a half hour here. Andrew?
All right, Lad Egan reporting live from Orem this afternoon. A lot of speculation that there could be a contested convention and that John Kasich could be at the center of attention if that would be the case later this summer in Cleveland. Now, ahead of the Utah